Hey everyone, welcome to the online program of Amrita IAS Academy. My name is Sibi Joy, and as part of our monthly current affairs MCQ series, this is part 2A of August 2020. So without any delay, we'll go into the question. Consider the following statements about the Krishna River. 1. It originates from the Western Ghats near Mahabaleshwar in the state of Maharashtra. 2. Panchganga, Bhima and Tungabhadra are its major tributaries. 3. Its catchment area covers Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Select the correct answer using the given below code. Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 1 only, option C 2 and 3 only, and option D 3 only. So looking at this, we'll know that about the Krishna River, the third statement, its catchment area covers Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. We'll be learning about the major rivers and their drainage basins and their catchment areas while learning about them as part of our Indian physical geography. And one thing you learn about the Krishna River is it does not cover the southern states of Tamil Nadu and Kerala, but rather it flows from Maharashtra and towards Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka. So definitely it does not come with Kerala or Tamil Nadu. So taking that into account, I can say the third statement is wrong. If you remove the third statement, you are left with just two options, option A and B, that is 1 and 2 only, and 1. Automatically the first statement, that is it originates from the Western Ghats and Mahabaleshwar in the state of Maharashtra, becomes true. You will also be learning these kinds of facts as part of our preparation for Indian physical geography for the civil services examination. Second statement, Panchganga, Bhima and Tungabhadra are its major tributaries, is the right answer. That is also right for because they are the tributaries of the Krishna River. So in this case, I would go with the option A, 1 and 2 only to be the right answer. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is A. Statement 1 is correct because the Krishna River originates in the Western Ghats near Mahabaleshwar at an elevation of about 1,300 meters or 4,300 feet in the state of Maharashtra in central India. The second statement is right because the two largest tributaries are the Bhima, which is in the north, the Tungabhadra in the south. Koina, Venna, Panchganga, Vasna, Ghatprabha, Dudganga, Tungabhadra and Malprabha meet Krishna from the right river banks, and Musi, Yerla, Bhima and Maneru rivers meet the river from the right bank, from the river banks on the left. The third statement, the catchment area of Krishna River covers part of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka and Maharashtra. The area is nearly 113,271 square kilometer in Andhra Pradesh, 69,425 square kilometers in Maharashtra and 76,252 square kilometers in Karnataka. So that is the general catchment area of the Krishna River. It flows through these states and these are major tributaries and its allied features. I hope you all try to remember this. We'll go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the Arabian Sea humpback whale. 1. It is the only non-migratory population of humpback whales in the world. 2. It has been listed as critically endangered under the IUCN Red List. 3. They play a huge role in carbon sinking. Which of the above mentioned statements are correct? Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, and option D all of the above. So like I said, when preparing for the environment portion of the syllabus for UPSC Civil Services examination, you will be learning about the different categories of animals which are categorized as critically endangered, vulnerable or least concern. So while learning about that, you will know which are the animals which come under the critically endangered list. The Arabian Sea humpback whale does not come under the critically endangered list of the IUCN. So looking at that, I can say the second statement is wrong. Remove the second statement, you are left with just one answer, that is option C 1 and 3 only. That is, it is the only non-migratory population of humpback whales in the world, and 3, they play a huge role in carbon sinking. So try to find absolute wrongs or try to find such statements which you know when you start preparing that to be absolutely wrong or right. Knowing that, you will be easily able to find out answers which will help you to make sure that your answers are always correct. So in this case, let's go with option C 1 and 3 only. The answer is C. The explanation. Statement 1 is correct because historical whaling records and 20 years of research conducted off the coast of Oman have revealed that Arabian Sea humpback whales are the only non-migratory population of humpback whales in the world. The statement 2 is not correct because it has been listed as endangered under the IUCN Red List. The third statement, they help regulate the flow of food by sustaining a stable food chain and ensuring that certain animal species do not overpopulate the ocean. By producing nutrient-rich feces, whales stimulate the production and growth of phytoplankton, which is not only an essential food source for several marine animals, but also plays a huge role in extracting carbon from the air and trapping it under the ocean, which is also known as carbon sinking. So that is the explanation about the Arabian Sea humpback whales. I hope you all understood this. We'll go for the next question. Consider the following statements about Gonds. 1. It is a particularly vulnerable tribal group of PVTG of India. 2. They live in the northeastern states of India. 3. They form the Salwa Judum, an armed militant group to fight the Naxalite insurgency. Which of the above mentioned statements are correct? Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 1 only, option C 2 and 3 only, and option D 3 only. So looking at this, Gonds are a very famous tribe in India. Rather, they do not live in the northeastern states of India. They live in the central parts of India, especially Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Odisha and Jharkhand. So I can say that the Second statement is wrong. Remove the second statement. You are left with just one option, two options, option B 1 only and option D 3 only. So either the first statement is right or the third statement is right. The first statement, it is a particularly vulnerable tribal group of India. No, the Gonds are not a part of the PVTGs of India, but they did form the Salwa Judum, an armed militant group to fight the Naxalite insurgency in their areas. So I'll go with the option D 3 only. So we'll be learning with the major tribes of India. We'll be learning what where they are, what their distribution is, where they are located, and any other allied features with regards to that. Also, while preparing for the civil services examination, you do not have to worry. If you are not aware of this, take this as an opportunity to learn about the Gond tribe. So we'll go with the option D 3 only to be the right answer. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is D. Statement 1 is not correct because Gonds are a group of aboriginal people which are officially designated as scheduled tribes of central and south central India. They are not a particularly vulnerable tribal group. Statement 2 is not correct because they live in the central and south central states of India, which includes Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar and Odisha. The third statement is right because Gondi people at the behest of the Chhattisgarh government formed the Salwa Judum, an armed militant group to fight the Naxalite insurgency. So that is about the Gond tribal population. I hope you all try to remember this. And I hope you all understood this. Take the opportunity to learn about certain facts which you may not know earlier, but take this as an opportunity to learn more. So with this, we'll go for the next question. Recently, the Reserve Bank of India has constituted an expert committee under the chairmanship of K.V. Kamath to recommend A. Parameter to strengthen the supervisory framework applicable to core investment companies, B. Guidelines to issue elephant bonds, C. Parameter of loan restructuring, D. Ways to cut down the number of tax litigations. So, it's an ABC type of question. It's a bit hard for us to know when which is right and which is wrong because there's not much you can use to eliminate. But at the same time, we'll also be learning about the major committees that has been formed recently or major committees which has been formed earlier but which led to long lasting legislation or long lasting changes. So in this case, this was in the news recently about the expert committee under the chairmanship of K.V. Kamath. So taking that into account, and since this was also there in the news cycles with relation to the COVID pandemic too, I'd say the answer is option C, parameter of loan structuring. So without any delay, we'll look at the explanation. I'll tell you how it was related to the COVID crisis too. The answer is C. Reserve Bank of India has formed a 5-member committee under the chairmanship of former ICICI Bank CEO K.V. Kamath to make recommendations on the financial parameters to be considered in the restructuring of loans impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The immediate task of the committee is to recommend a list of financial parameters to be factored into the assumptions that go into each resolution plan and the sector-specific benchmark ranges for such parameters. The parameters will include aspects related to leverage, liquidity, debt serviceability, etc. The expert committee shall submit a list of financial parameters and the sector-specific desirable ranges for such parameters to the Reserve Bank, which in turn will notify the same along with modifications within the 30 days. So this was actually the expert committee under the chairmanship of K.V. Kamath detailed about talked about the particulars or the parameters of loan restructuring amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. So that is the explanation for this question. We'll go for the next question. Which of the following country or countries surrounds the Mediterranean Sea? 1. Lebanon, 2. Jordan, 3. Iraq. Choose the correct code. Option A 1 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 3 only, and option D 1, 2 and 3 only. So these are major areas which have been consistently mentioned in the news, or the Middle East is consistently mentioned in the news with regards to various relations India has with those countries, and also because of certain activities like terrorism or civil wars which are happening over there. So taking that into account, it is something we should be very aware about of which are the countries which surround the Mediterranean Sea or in that region, because even the UPSC has asked a previous year question with regards to the countries surrounding the Mediterranean Sea. So for someone who is well aware of the map and which are the countries which border various seas or oceans, I can say in this case that option A 1 only is the right answer, because Jordan and Iraq do not surround the Mediterranean Sea. Let's look at the explanation. The countries surrounding the Mediterranean Sea in clockwise order are Spain, France, Monaco, Italy, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, Albania, Greece, Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Malta and Cyprus are island countries, which are whereas Malta and Cyprus are island countries in the sea. In addition, the Gaza Strip and the British overseas territories of Gibraltar and Acroitre and Decalia have coastlines on the sea. Lebanon, which has the capital of Beirut, is officially known as the Republic of Lebanon, is a country in Western Asia. So these are the countries which are bordering the Mediterranean Sea. And in that, please note that for the options which we have got, Jordan and Iraq do not border the Mediterranean Sea, but only Lebanon does. So in about Lebanon, it is bordered by Syria to the north and east, and Israel to the south, while Cyprus lies west across the Mediterranean Sea. So if you look at the image which is visible on the screen, you will be able to see where Lebanon is located. So that is the explanation for this question. We will go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the Bombay Natural History Society or BNHS. 1. It is a specialized agency of Environment Ministry engaged in conservation and biodiversity research. 2. It is a partner of BirdLife International. 3. BNHS played a pivotal role in serving. Question number 6. Consider the following statements about the Bombay Natural History Society or BNHS. 1. It is a specialized agency of Environment Ministry engaged in conservation and biodiversity research. 2. It is a partner of BirdLife International. 3. BNHS played a pivotal role in saving Amur falcon through its Preventing Extensions program. Select the correct answer using the given below code. Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 1 only, option C 2 and 3 only, and option D 3 only. So Bombay Natural History Society is a very famous society or a very famous organization which is involved in animal conservation of both animal conservation for the past decades, or even it's one of India's oldest animal conservation organizations. So in this case, I would say that it is not a specialized agency of the Environment Ministry. It is rather a not-for-profit NGO. So taking that into account, I can say the first statement is absolutely wrong. Remove the first statement. You are left with just two options. Option C 2 and 3 only, and option D 3 only. Option 3, the third statement is common for both. Let's look at the second statement. It is a partner of BirdLife International. Yes, the BNHS is the partner of BirdLife International in India, and that is also a right statement. You will be learning about the various international organizations and the national organizations that are involved towards the wildlife conservation while preparing for your environment part of the syllabus. So in this case, I would say that the option C 2 and 3 only is the right answer. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is C. Statement 1 is not correct because it is one of the largest non-governmental organizations in India engaged in conservation biodiversity research. Statement 2 is correct because BNHS is the partner of BirdLife International in India. Third statement, BNHS played a pivotal role in saving Amur falcon under its Preventing Extensions program. So that is the explanation for this question. We will go for the next question. Question number 7. Consider the following statements about the National Air Quality Index or NAQI. 1. NAQI index was launched as an initiative under the Swachh Bharat mission. 2. NAQI is developed after measuring concentration of 8 pollutants in air, which includes ozone O3, ammonia NH3 and lead Pb. It is developed by the IIT Kanpur scientists along with the Central Pollution Control Board. So which of the above mentioned statements are correct? Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, and option D all of the above. So looking at this, I would say that the National Air Quality Index was launched as an initiative under the Swachh Bharat mission. So the first statement is right. The second statement, it does measure the concentration of 8 pollutants in air, which include the ozone, ammonia and lead. So that is also right. And it was developed by IIT Kanpur scientists along with the CPCB. So in this case, I would go with the option D, all of the above, to be the right answer, because that is the explanation for NAQI. Let's look at the explanation in detail. The answer is D. The formulation of NAQI was an initiative under the Swachh Bharat mission based on the recommendations of the IIT Kanpur and the expert group formed in this regard. The second statement, the NAQI measures air quality based on 8 pollutants. Likely, they are the particulate matter of PM10 or PM2.5, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone, ammonia and lead. So these are the 8 pollutants on which the air quality index is checked. The third statement is also right because it was developed by IIT Kanpur scientists along with the Central Pollution Control Board. So that is the explanation for the National Air Quality Index. We will go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the Tungabhadra River. 1. It is a tributary of Kaveri River. 2. Hampi, a UNESCO heritage site, is located on the banks of the Tungabhadra River. 3. Raichur Doab is formed by Krishna River in the north and the Tungabhadra River in the south. 4. Flood protection walls all along the river were constructed by Sri Krishna Deva Raya. So which of the above mentioned statements are correct? Option A 1, 2 and 4 only, option B 3 and 4 only, option C 2 and 3 only, and option D 2, 3 and 4 only. So looking at this, I would say the first statement is wrong because earlier in the same video, in the earlier part of the question, we were discussing about the Krishna River, and we learned that the Krishna has a tributary known as Tungabhadra. So the first statement is a tributary of Kaveri River is absolutely wrong. We will be learning also about the Kaveri River and its tributaries while preparing for Indian Physical Geography for the Civil Services examination. So we will also learn about the Kaveri while in our static classes. So in this case, I would say the first statement is wrong. First statement is wrong. You are left with options B, C and D, that is 3 and 4 only, option C 2 and 3 only, and option D 2, 3 and 4 only. Automatically the third statement, that is Raichur Doab is formed by Krishna River in the north and Tungabhadra River in the south, becomes right on all the 3 instances. Now we just need to check whether option 2 and 4 need to be confirmed. 2. Hampi, a UNESCO heritage site, is located on the banks of Tungabhadra River. Yes, that is right. Hampi is a UNESCO heritage site which is located on the banks of the Tungabhadra river. And the fourth statement, flood protection walls all along the river were constructed by Sri Krishna Deva Raya. Yes, that is also true. That is a very important historical fact, that flood protection walls were built all along the river by Krishna Deva Raya of Vijayanagara Empire. So it go with the option D, 2, 3 and 4 only. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is D. Statement 1 is not correct because Tungabhadra river is a tributary of river Krishna. Statement 2 is correct because Hampi is one of the important heritage locations being listed by UNESCO, is on the banks of Tungabhadra river. Third statement, the doab named after Raichur is formed by Krishna river in the north and Tungabhadra river in the south, and this doab is considered to be very fertile because of the sediments carried by the Krishna and the Tungabhadra rivers. The fourth statement is correct because an important feature of the Tungabhadra river banks is the flood protection walls all along the rivers constructed by Sri Krishna Deva Raya between 1525 and 1527 AD. So that is the explanation about the Tungabhadra river. Hope you all understood this. We'll go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the Andaman Islands and the Nicobar Islands. 1. The Andaman Islands and the Nicobar Islands are separated by the 9-degree channel. 2. A&N hosts the only tri-service geographical command of the Indian Armed Forces. 3. India's only active volcano is located in Andaman and Nicobar. Choose the correct code. Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, and option D 3 only. So this is a question which is again taken from the very important part of our geography, that is, it talks about the island groups of India. So we will be learning about the various island groups of India, we will be talking about the geographical features they possess and all of that. So while learning about Andaman and Nicobar Islands for geography, we will know that the Andaman Islands and the Nicobar Islands are separated by the 10-degree channel and not the 9-degree channel. So taking that into account, I'd say that we can remove the first statement. When the first statement is removed, you are left with just options B and D, that is 2 and 3 only, and option D 3 only. Automatically the third statement becomes right, that is India's only active volcano is located in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Yes, that is true. The volcano is known as Barren Island. And the second statement, Andaman and Nicobar hosts the only tri-service geographical command of the Indian Armed Forces. That is also a fact because the only tri-service geographical command of the Indian Armed Forces is located in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Even though it has the absolute directive only, please try to remember that certain facts, such things are very important and you will be learning about them while preparing for your civil services examination. If you don't know about it, try to take this opportunity to learn about it. So in this case, I would say that option 2 and 3 only, or the statements 2 and 3 are right. So I'd go with option B, 2 and 3 only. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is B. Statement 1 is not correct because the Andaman Islands and the Nicobar Islands are separated by the 150-kilometer wide 10-degree channel with the Andamans to the north of this latitude and the Nicobars to the south. The second statement is correct because the Andaman and Nicobar Islands host the Andaman and Nicobar Command, the only tri-service geographical command of the Indian Armed Forces. The third statement is right because the only volcano in India, Barren Island, is located in Andaman and Nicobar. It is an active volcano that last erupted in 2017. So that is the explanation for this question about the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. I hope you all understood this. We'll go for the next question. The Indus Water Treaty, or IWT, water distribution treaty between India and Pakistan, was brokered by A. International Maritime Organization, B. United Nations, C. World Bank, and D. European Union. So it's an ABC type of question, but as part of Indo-Pakistan relationship, while we are learning about it in international affairs, this has been there in the news consistently that Indo-Pakistan relationship, one of the most important areas of Indo-Pakistan relation is the Indus Water Treaty, which was brokered by World Bank. So we'll be all learning about it whenever we are learning about international relations or about India's relation with its neighborhood countries. So let me say the Indus Water Treaty is brokered by the World Bank, and in this case I would say the answer is option C, World Bank. Even if you don't know about it, remember this fact that Indus Water IWT was actually brokered by the World Bank. Try to remember this, it's a very important fact, and this is a question which has been asked frequently. So let's look at the explanation. The answer is C. The Indus Water Treaty is a water distribution treaty between India and Pakistan brokered by the World Bank to use the water available in the Indus River and its tributaries. The treaty gives control over the waters of the three eastern rivers, the Beas, the Ravi and Satluj, to India, while the control over the three western rivers, the Indus, Chenab and Jhelum, to Pakistan. So that is the explanation of the Indus Water River Treaty. I hope you all try to understand this and try to remember the major organization involved, which is the World Bank. With this, we will go for the next question. Consider the following statements about traffic. 1. It is a leading intergovernmental organization working globally on the trade of wild animals and plants. 2. It was founded as a strategic alliance of the Worldwide Fund for Nature, or WWF, and the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN. 3. It supplies trade information, expert analysis to the decision-making process at sites to ensure that international trade in wildlife remains at sustainable levels. Select the correct answer using the given below code. Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 1 only, option C 2 and 3 only, and option D 3 only. So traffic is again a very important wildlife organization. We will be learning about it as part of our civil services preparation. And the first statement is a leading intergovernmental organization. No, traffic is a non-governmental organization. So it is not intergovernmental organization. With that alone, we can say the first statement is wrong. If you remove the first statement, you are left with just two options, option C and D, that is 2 and 3 only and 3 only. Now we are left with option, the second statement has to be verified because the third statement is present in both of them. Let's look at the second statement. It was founded as a strategic alliance of the Worldwide Fund for Nature WWF and the IUCN, or the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Yes, traffic was founded as a strategic alliance of WWF and the IUCN. So I'd say the second statement is also absolutely right. Looking at that, I'd go with the option C, 2 and 3 only, that is the third statement. It supplies trade information, expert analysis to the decision-making process sites to ensure that international trade in wildlife remains at sustainable levels. The third statement also seems in key or in line with the demand of the question. I'd go for option C, 2 and 3 only. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is C. Statement 1 is not correct because traffic, the Wildlife Trade Monitoring Network, is the leading non-governmental organization working globally on the trade of wild animals and plants in the context of both biodiversity and sustainable development. Statement 2 is correct. It was founded in 1976 as a strategic alliance of the Worldwide Fund for Nature and the IUCN. The third statement, CITES is the main international agreement that controls international trade in wild animals and plants. 183 governments are currently signatories working together to ensure that trade in wildlife specimens does not endanger their survival. And advising and supporting the enforcement of CITES has been the ongoing priority for traffic since its formation. It supplies trade information and expert analysis to the decision-making process to CITES. For example, the elephant trade information system, to ensure that international trade in wildlife remains at sustainable levels. So these are the major features of traffic, where it originated from and what are its basic features. I hope you all try to remember this. We'll go for the next question. Before that, the aim of traffic is to ensure that trade in wild plants and animals is not a threat to the conservation of nature. So that is the explanation. We'll go for the next question. Which of the following are main components of marginal cost of funds based lending rate, or MCLR? 1. Minimum rate of return, 2. tenor premium, 3. cash reserve ratio, and 4. operating cost. Which of the above mentioned statements are correct? Option A, 1, 2 and 4 only, option B, 1 only, option C, 2, 3 and 4 only, and option D, all of the above. So MCLR, or marginal cost of funds based lending rate, are something which is coming in the news consistently, and it is also a part of the static portion of the economy syllabus. We'll be learning about it. So while learning about MCLR, we'll know that the major components of marginal cost of funds based lending rate is not the minimum rate of return, but also something known as the marginal cost of funds. But 2, 3, 4 are already present in that. That is, the tenor premium is there, cash reserve ratio is there, and operating costs are there. But it is not the minimum rate of return, but the marginal cost of funds which is being present in MCLR. So taking that into account, I can say the first statement is wrong. If you remove the first statement, you are left with just one option, that is option C, 2, 3 and 4 only. Let's choose the answer option C, 2, 3 and 4 is the right answer. We'll look at the explanation. The answer is C. The MCLR system was introduced by the RBI to provide loans on minimal rates as well as market rate fluctuation benefit to customers. This new system has modified the existing base rate system of providing home loans. So it actually depends upon the 4 components, that is the marginal cost of funding, which is the cost charged on the interest rate given on term deposit, savings and current account, and it's also charged on the borrowings and return on net worth. The other one is the negative carry on account of CRR. It mostly arises if the actual return is less than the cost of the fund. And the operating cost, it is simply the operational expenses involved by the banks during the process. And the tenor premium, which means that the higher interest charged on long-term loans, which are equal for all type of loans. So these are the major parameters which come under MCLR. So that is the explanation for this part of the video and for this question. With this, we are ending this video. This is CB Joy signing off. Everybody have a nice day. Thank you.